All right. Now here comes the difficult and possibly annoying part. I have skipped 2 slides, it seems. Now, if I have not missed them, then there's one place I suspect they might be. And that's in the other locations. How can I reach those other locations? Same way I reach all locations, by traveling to them via the Morrow. Well then, what am I supposed to do? Well, it would stand to reason that I should just go to the Morrow and backtrack. Can't get through the wall of fire to the other side, I'm afraid. Unless I somehow can, which I doubt. Has it all become a jumbled up mess? Quite possibly, yes. But annoyingly enough, in accordance with my intuition, I shouldn't go for the main quest objective quite yet. Yeah, and even though the last thing I said before coming back here now is that's exactly what I would do, well, I guess that's not what I'll do, is it? I guess what I'll do instead is head to Morrow facilities indeed. Yeah, maybe I should have saved before that. Yeah, who cares? I have a save point right there. I'm gonna save and I'm gonna backtrack. Also, yeah, I should visit all sorts of places and all sorts of people before I progress. Since getting a slide this far in everything, this far in the game, getting a 10th slide out of 11 seems to suggest to me that I am very close. Yes, so I would rather see everything I can see before I progress. How can I not interact with this? Why is that the case? It's glowing, all right? It seems to be interactive, but it's not. Why is that? How strange. I've read that message too. Maybe it doesn't glow because it's interactive, maybe it just glows. I'm not going though. I can't pick up the spell syringe, I'm afraid. This is the mirror. You know, I'm telling you this, but for all I know, it's impossible to head back. For all I know, the entire place has collapsed. And there's nothing I can do, no matter how much I may want to. The entire place is in shambles. It doesn't look the way it used to. Yeah, that's the fallen operative with the syringe. Fortunately, I refuse to use syringes on general principle, so I can't even pick that up. The path here has been blocked off. Yeah, and that's the way, well, back elsewhere, back to every single other place, with the possible exception of, what is this? Yeah, this is the nature preserve, so I should be able to go back there. And I should be able to visit Esmeralda, right? Esme. She should be still alive. And, well, maybe I'll be able to at least catch up with her, explain to her what I have seen and so on. I don't know, I could tell her that there is a chance to get out 2 coin flips, so if she wants to give up on the plan, well, that's her best shot. Alright. More syringes, but I'm not using healing. Mostly refuse to invest in max health, so there's not much to replenish. Either I don't take damage or die, and most of the time I don't die in the field. Anyway, I just come back and drink coffee. Let's pick up the spare bits of ammo, reload. It's much appreciated. Presumably we can't actually have a conversation, but let's try. Let's at least try. Hey.
Let me ask you a few more questions before I go.
There's nothing more I can tell her. Nothing. All I got out of this little adventure is, well, an opportunity to see her again, to know that she's alive at the very least. And those 2 extra bullets, which I may very well use at some point. If I need to refill syringes, there are plenty of places I can visit, I guess. I can go back here. I have that fallen operative. So at least in principle, there are plenty of locations. However, in the end, all of that relies on the assumptions on the assumption that I'll be able to go back there at that point when I need them. Which, of course, the way things are going, doesn't seem particularly compelling as an idea. Enough stalling. There's nothing I can do as much as I may want to. I can't head back the old-fashioned way. I could have done that a while back, quite possibly. I could have, but I didn't. I didn't backtrack. I was too lazy. I wasn't thorough enough, I think. And now I might miss out on slides. Or maybe, just maybe, you get the early slides over here if you follow the story. If you follow the story of chapter 11. I don't know. I am about to find out because I'm about to head through here to try to save Harrison. Presumably you're expected to try to save her immediately and not go for Sykes instead. Follow Hoffman. I know. I am. Yeah, syringe. I'm getting further and further away from that guy, so never mind that. I have the ammo. I have all the resources I could possibly want to be able to deal with this situation. Please, Hoffman. Please. I know you're not good at fighting, but you're a psychologist. Please don't tell me you actually... Please don't tell me you got fooled and then killed. Come on. This is the final shotgun ammo pouch. I can now carry 25 additional shotgun shells. That's it. Come on, Hoffman. Come on, O'Neill. I also hope Sykes got out. I know we haven't known one another for that long, but once again, these circumstances are dire, and obviously I don't want these people to die. Who would? Well. You've made the wrong choice. And gave me an opportunity to test out the double-barrel shotgun. I'm not gonna play around and play hide and seek with you right here. Whoa! Stomp him, stomp him, stomp him! Yeah, I'm not messing around. And I don't even feel bad for ball break. Really, there was one under the table and I haven't actually seen him? It's so blatant, there's basically nowhere to hide and I failed to spot him? Pathetic! Yeah, fair enough. Let's, should stop beating myself up over this. It really doesn't make much of a... I have other things to worry about. Now is not the time for regret. Great. Hoffman, please. Come on, Yuki. O'Neill. Oh, right, it opened right behind me. Well, Yuki? Shotgun shells. Well, that really plays neatly into
Looks
one.
like they had extra security for this place.
Will this get up? One would hope not, but one would presumably be wrong. Okay, you're not getting up. This is blocked off. Unfortunately, I'm not getting anything out of the vending machine. Security level 4. Well then. Computer files, security protocols. Due to the sensitive nature of the experiments being conducted in the laboratory, is only accessible to Mobius operatives with the proper Unity cerebral chip designation. I don't have that. I know someone who does. Esmeralda. That's the only person I can possibly reach who's got the chip and who's nearby. Please observe all security protocols when entering the laboratory. Be aware that your clearance level also binds you to top secret non-disclosure tenants as outlined in your enlistment contract. I love the fact that there is this bizarre mesh over here of corporate policy and secret society. They can't possibly enforce these sorts of things out in the open in a court of law. If this sort of information leaks, it's seriously, what are they gonna do? Sue the person? It doesn't matter. They can assassinate the person for all that's worth. But still, these no. So right, these may be empty threats, possibly, and these may be a matter of appearances. That makes perfect sense. They want to front as a neat little organization, as a corporation. Instead of being a sort of a, well, not a doomsday cult, that's more of a Teddy thing. Any operative attempting to access the laboratory without proper clearance will be subject to corporal punishment, as outlined in the Mobius security bylaws. Corporal punishment, yes. They're gonna spank them. Listen, if there are 3 of those, and one of them is broken, go through the broken one, please. No, seriously, you go through the one that's not broken, they're presumably gonna sound the alarm. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't expect a mirror here. Yeah, and what exactly is the mirror supposed to signify? Well, it's a chance to go out and craft items, get your ducks in a row. It's a chance to save. It's a chance to save without telling you, oh, this is a safe room. This is a place where you can talk to someone. No. You just get a mirror someplace. You can go back and save if you want to. That's it. You're given a mirror. Doesn't mean the place is safe because it isn't. Doesn't mean you can talk to anyone because you can't. But you get a mirror. Enjoy that. I can proceed through the... Can I open this? No, of course not. I mean, look at this. What is this even supposed to be? Can you actually leave through here and go well? Aw, that's a neat little symbol for the mirror. Usually you don't get symbols for... do you get symbols for the mirror if it's just out there without anything attached to it? I don't know. Follow Hoffman to discover O'Neill's whereabouts. Well... Best I can do, best I can come up with is going through here. What experiments were you conducting, Mobius? What happened here? Seriously, you had... Guys, no, serious, why? I was so on board with the quaint little town thing, alright? That seemed nice. Give people an opportunity to connect and embrace this sort of idyllic life. But no, you had to go and mess it up. What were you doing? Were you trying to what? Study the haunted, control the haunted? I'm not against science. I'm not against science, at the very least in principle. There's nothing wrong with that necessarily. But what is this?
All these tanks. What's this about?
I can tell you quite easily what this is about. This is about to break apart, all right? This is about to break open. That's what it's about to do, right? You know it. I know it. The eyes over here glow red. Yeah, but other than that, other than word games, I have no idea. I don't know. What is the order of operations? What happened here? Caution, do not touch. Okay, let's try not to touch things. This is just a huge, horrifying arena. You presumably know that as well as I do. I mean, what else would you expect? Look at this. Do not touch. Do you touch? I don't think there's a scenario where you just walk through here, do not touch anything, and everything is fine. Right, is there? I don't think so. We're not walking through that door. We're not getting out, are we? Right, so those are tied up, so fair enough, you can't really do anything with them. Surgical tools. Yeah, conducting experiments on the haunted makes sense, but... I don't understand. I dread to imagine, though. Wait, I was able to get through that room without getting attacked? Well, we still have to go back through that room, in principle, don't we? The moment things don't go my way, I can unleash a smoke. I can also switch to the shotgun. I can do a number of things. Stay frosty.
What were they doing in this lab? And why did Liam want me to meet him here?
Hoffman. Hoffman.
Unity cerebral chip detected. Entry authorized.
No!
Can't pass through without one of those chips. Gotta be one around here somewhere.
Oh, God. I can see what's going on here. How couldn't Hoffman? It's so immediately obvious. You can't get in unless you have a Mobius security chip, right? Okay, well, fair enough. So what? So people who have the chip, people who work for Mobius in that capacity, etc., the higher-ups basically have the chip, have the proper security clearance level. People who don't. What does that imply? Well, what if someone didn't have the chip and wanted to get inside? Well, he'd have to get a chip somehow. He'd have to find someone who has the chip. Like I just figured, oh, hey, we'll get Esmeralda. Or he would have to find the chip unattached to a person. Well, what could have possibly happened here? Teddy wanted to access this area for his nefarious ends. And he needed someone to open it up for him. Someone with the chip. So he lured her over here. And it pisses me off to no end because she should have known better. It made so clear to us the entire way through. She's a psychologist. She can see through people. She understands. She's not gonna get manipulated. And here we have her getting idiotically manipulated. Now, am I to believe that the reason for that is because she likes Liam so much? Is that it? She couldn't see through the ruse for that reason? So frustrated. For a variety of reasons, yes, all taken together. On one hand, I really don't want bad things to happen to her. On the other hand, if Teddy over there gets his grubby hands on her, well, there's no telling what might happen to her. And that's almost inevitably gonna happen. It has already happened, presumably. Now, at the very least,
Our efforts have been in vain.
20% of Union's populace has succumbed already. At this rate, there will be no one left in 2 weeks. We've lost contact with Mobius. We're trapped in here. With the Lost. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've all become one of those things. I'd rather die. I'd rather die here.
two scientist resonances. I get it. Resonance point all is lost.
Populace has succumbed already.
Our efforts have been in vain.
It's pretty obvious that Teddy got his hands on what he wanted. Now, what he did... What he did to Hoffman is uncertain. Alright, you freak. Oh, look at this guy. Doesn't look like a scientist. But then again, how do you tell? Looks like an exec, but then again, once again, that's just judging on the way, based on the way he's dressed. This doesn't necessarily tell us much.
Of Union's populace.
I got scared by the crossbow whipping around. It's not easy for me to get. It's not easy. It's not difficult for me to get scared at this stage. Not at all. Classic, messing around with the haunted. Will you go the other way at all, or will you just keep on flailing though? Doesn't make a shred of difference to me. Red gel, yeah, I'll get all these things, obviously. I know I have to go upstairs eventually. Not yet, though, not yet. Alright, safe. Gunpowder, good. Cabinet. With nothing inside. Toxic hazard. Bottles, I don't really use them. Yeah, I can see you. Alright, I know it's you. So how about we cut this entire thing short? Just turn around, go the other way. Don't head back here. Go back to where you belong. You're beginning to annoy me. It's so easy to take them out with brute force. I don't have to do this. Right, he will turn around, of course he will. Eventually. Hypothetically, I can use the mirror to save, right? Hypothetically, but for all we know, an attempt to go through that chamber again is gonna end very poorly, for all I know. But then again, I could get that out of the way quickly instead of prolonging my own suffering, couldn't I? Wait, hold on. Wasn't this the way to, No, the way south was ultimately the way to the original location. So I don't know anymore. This is pivotal.
Entry denied. No EMP cerebral chip detected.
Damn it.
I'll find one soon enough. But yes, presumably I'm one of the scientists. What else would you expect? Alright, that thing's almost inevitably gonna get an up. Nice slideshow. Let's just get this over with. Oh. Well, no, I'm still very confident that's gonna get up. Probably in a more dramatic way. Whatever, I have all the tools at my disposal that I could possibly ever need to tackle all those threats. I really shouldn't be afraid. Will he turn around? Will he? Will it? Tenacious little bugger, isn't he? He almost found me. Almost, but not quite. Alright, I can head on upstairs. Yes, there's a path upstairs, there's the path to the side through the broken glass, there's a panel over here. Those are the available exits. Let's head through the glass. Presumably I can't access this. Never mind, I can walk right in. Upstairs. Got it. I understand. I have to go upstairs in order to retrieve this. Retrieve this. Well, you know, in order to see the resonance. I love collecting these stupid things, but I don't like using them. How silly is that? Well, why am I collecting them then? What is the purpose? Oh dear. This doesn't bode well, does it? Okay, first let's take the red gel. Because presumably this all springs to life when I read the note. Report irregularity studies. The phenomenon has become more prevalent. Okay, so you know what? It's difficult to blame Mobius over here. What on earth has happened? Well, first everything began breaking apart, and then they tried to study it. They tried to figure out what was going wrong. Yeah, no kidding, as they should. If they were to say turn people into haunted, that's one thing, but they weren't. No, stuff was going wrong, and they were desperately trying to find out how to deal with it. Fair enough. The phenomenon has become more prevalent. We have dedicated the entire laboratory wing of the Morrow to studying it. Citizen transformations have become quick, violent, and even more obscene. They are mutating into forms that can't even be considered humanoid. They have lost any semblance of humanity altogether. We have dubbed these affected citizens the Lost. The interesting part is that I don't know myself what exactly leads to the transformation. I have no clue. If you have the chip, are you safe? So is Esmeralda safe? What about that lady out there in the residential district they have saved a while back? Is she safe? Is it the fact, as I have pointed out earlier, in my gut instinct, that if they retain memories of the outside world and thus they have an inkling, a relatively strong idea that what they are witnessing isn't real and there's something real outside, does that protect them? They call them the Lost, and that makes perfect sense. If they lose themselves in this reality, maybe that's what happens. They lose themselves and they lose their humanity. Continuing on. We have determined that the last phase before metamorphosis involves the belief that they are being pursued by some invisible but inescapable force. The ghost, right? That thing we have seen. So now I know what happens. I know how the transformation takes place. That thing reaps them. Yeah, takes their souls away, basically. Until they become these biological husks that are no longer them. Fascinating. So yes, that thing, that horrifying thing, that Laura-like thing that can go through walls and sings the lullaby, that's the thing that turns them. An echo of Ruvik? A manifestation of Ruvik who is messing with things? Does Ruvik have anything to do with this? I don't know. We have determined that the last phase before metamorphosis involves the belief that they are being pursued by some invisible but inescapable force. Once they have succumbed to this force, their transformation begins. As you can see, they have been thorough and honest enough to actually note this. It's not that, oh, they have this belief and then they turn. No. They believe they are being pursued by this sort of a force, and once they succumb, once this force overcomes them, they transform. STEM is an artificial construct. There are no viruses, bacteria, or contagion here. The last phenomenon is therefore a mental process. We are still in the dark as to how it spreads and to whom it will spread next. Perhaps the trigger was present in the subjects before they even entered STEM. Further research is needed. See, I like this, yes, because this is very, very sober, very lucid. This ultimately is a fake environment. It exists in the mind. We don't have all sorts of pathogens over here. All you have is the mind. Therefore, whatever illness over here is spreading, it has to be a mental illness. And since mind sharing is an issue, yeah, that's essentially mental illness being spread. My goodness. Yeah, as far as what's happening is concerned, that's something that may have been underappreciated. The fact that if you lock people up in a mind-sharing experiment, if any one of them has a mental illness, that mental illness can effectively be contagious. Now, that's not a worry most of the time in ordinary life, because you can never actually connect two minds. There's a quote from, I don't know, an introduction to psychology or something like that. Might have been the book Train of Thought, whatever, a book by James. A classic in psychology literature that mentioned that this is the most impermeable barrier that exists in nature. No one has ever been able to cross that. You can cross any other barrier with a degree of effort and enough brute force, but you can never cross the barrier between two minds. Well, the whole point of this game is that you can, but if you can, very weird things happen, obviously. A mental illness can become pretty much directly transmittable. Yes. Yes, indeed. And the only capability you may have to withstand that is essentially your willpower. So it's like your immune system, in its mental capacity, protecting you from a mental illness that someone else has. Alright, if it's just feasting, then it should be distracted. It should be distracted enough for me to have an easy time stealth killing it. And worst comes to worst, I have so many tools at my disposal. I have the pistol, I have the shotgun, I have the bolts, I have extra health. Seriously, one regular haunted is no threat to me at this stage. They are pretty scary though. Wait, how? No, I have executed you a while back. Never mind that. You're upstairs, aren't you? You're totally upstairs. I can even see your... Oh, I can see the blood splatter through that. Ugh. Well, might as well go upstairs. Face the music. I am exploring every last bit of this before progressing. Of course, at practice, I started going up the stairs. Oh dear, no, this is fine, this is fine. Yes, I'm clearly judging the way this place has been designed for operational safety. Hey, suit guy. Business as usual, huh?
20% of Union's populace has succumbed already. At this rate, there will be no one left in 2 weeks. We've
34 meters.
of Union's pop.
15. Yeah, it's gonna be through here. Let's clear this place out first. Last thing I need is to bump into a haunted on my way out. Gotta be thorough. Look, if you... No funny stuff. Why did you get on up? Did I actually press... Yeah, whatever. Sebastian, what on earth? Stop doing that. Oh, you roll yourself. Roll my ass. I have had just about enough of your nonsense. Okay, listen. You round this corner. It may possibly give up. I don't know how far it's willing to go and when it'll turn around. If it turns around, then, you know, so be it. Or I can nail it right in the head with my pistol. Well, buddy? You tired? You bored of this pursuit? It's not a trivial pursuit? Just leave. No, I'm serious. This is pointless. You can't see me through that. I know you can see me through that. Now, I can see you, but your perception is flawed. So go back to your feast. Yeah, that's right. That's a nice little haunted. Yeah, you can't see me. You don't have that sort of a cone of vision. You can't see, I don't know, 90 degrees around. Yeah, noggin. Om nom nom indeed, you dumb bastard. Damn, zombie movies are really accurate, yeah. At some point you do pick up this sort of an attitude. Just becomes second nature. It makes perfect sense. Of course you would start treating them like that. Yeah, if you're one of the people who have managed to survive that long, then presumably you no longer have that deep-seated fear. You don't get startled every single time you see one of them. You eventually get inured to pretty much any stimulus, no matter how horrifying. So yeah, you develop this mixture of dread and hatred. Dread is a nice term indeed, yeah. Yeah, you don't have this... you may get startled, yeah, you do feel dread, but you no longer have the baseline sort of fear. You know, the more I look at this, the more I realize that for all I know, I don't have to be expected to have the shock bolts. So if I don't have them, well, what happens? I don't open a panel. Thus, the panel basically has to be optional. That's just the alking of this little bolt, so don't fret. Okay, gas masks. Look, if this closes... No, never mind. I'm heading upstairs. I'm not going there quite yet. What if that just closes behind me and I lose access to these places? For all I know, I have to visit those. I don't know anymore. I don't know what's optional and what's mandatory. Resonance point. Well, she's right there, yeah. Well, a fleeting memory of her anyway. I'm sorry. Not sorry in the sense that I've done anything wrong though, but I am sorry nonetheless. Wish I could have helped. Oh, more syringes, huh? Up to 6. Well, that's gonna come in handy, I guess, since there are plenty of syringes lying around. I know, fine. I knew there would be something here. Fine, let's pick up more gunpowder and view the resonance.
40% of Union's populace has succumbed already. At this rate.
Our efforts have been in vain. The core escaped less than a day ago. Within hours, we began to receive reports of lost emerging in staggering numbers. They're everywhere now. 20% of Union's populace has succumbed already. And they're actively hunting down and killing whoever is left. It's a nightmare. At this rate, there will be no one left in 2 weeks. We've lost contact with Mobius. We're trapped in here. With the Lost. It's too late to stop now. The entire Union experiment is doomed. We're all doomed. I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You're a victim in all of this. You died here. Like in most sort of horror scenarios, I ask myself, okay, what could the person in question have done? What could she have done, indeed? What could she have done? Not much, I'm afraid. How could she have saved herself? You can try to work together, but that only goes so far. It's... I could argue that you need heavy-duty weapons. Even that's not gonna help you. Not against the thing that's actually turning them into the haunted, into the lost. They can't. There's no way. They might start getting up. I need to prepare. An indestructible, almost invisible, or visible very late ghost is ultimately hunting them down and turning them into these things. And then these things try to tear them apart. So you can try to defend yourselves against the lost, and you may have somewhat of a chance. But against the ghost, how do you dispatch that? Even Sebastian has been utterly helpless. He has manners, but still. No trespassing. Oh. Yeah, what if they get up? I have the tools to deal with this. It would be so much.
What do we have here?
So much backtracking, though. Well, backtracking. Retracing my steps, I guess. It's not exactly backtracking. But it would be annoying. Well, are you gonna extract the chip? Computer file, operative case. Our worst fears have been realized. The lost phenomenon has spread to Mobius operatives. That is indeed the worst case scenario. I've just postulated the hypothesis that they are the only ones who are immune from this phenomenon. They're not! Now what? We had theorized that the transformations were a result of memory overwrite. Oh, but no operatives have been overwritten. Memory overwrite. Yeah, the thing I've been calling the mind wipe. Yeah. So they figured, oh, maybe, just maybe, this happens because you have done this sort of thing to their minds, and the minds have ultimately refused to take. Yeah, but operatives were not overwritten, as in, they know what's going on. They haven't been brainwashed. Yeesh. We were able to quarantine and terminate an affected Mobius operative before he could transform. Perhaps his exposure to so many lost corpses in the pit made him susceptible to whatever is causing this. Perhaps it's merely a coincidence. We are harvesting his Unity cerebral chip in the hopes that it will provide new data. Removal of intact cerebral chips is possible with the extraction devices. A relatively simple and automated process. Merely place the subject on the gurney and enter the extraction device's activation code 0129. Why did I say 9? 0128.
If they haven't removed this guy's chip yet, I can use it to get through that door and find Hoffman. Okay, let's see what happens.
He may get up for all we know. At which point I blast him with a shotgun or something. Listen, I'm drilling into his skull. This guy really shouldn't get up. If he does, I don't know what to tell you. I usually blow the heads off, and that solves the issue. Unity cerebral chip. This is huge and clunky. This electronic chip was implanted in the brain of a Mobius operative.
Oh, thank God he's already dead. I gotta get out of this lab.
Sebastian, if he wasn't dead, you just ask him to help you. As much as I look to the future with a sense of uncertainty and dread, the past disturbs me in equal measure. Events long gone, forever set in stone. I will deal with the future and the past alike in the next part of my playthrough of The Evil Within 2. Thanks for watching so far, and you will see me elsewhere.